sure he would have here.
Well, let's talk about that Christian McCaffrey. Obviously, a huge deal. I'm sure there were tense moments and detailed negotiations, but I want to get the camera showed you guys, you and Adam and Jed and other people in the box, I think after his touchdown reception to put you ahead late in the third quarter. And that was a lot of happy guys bouncing around there. I was wondering, you played, it can't be like competition, but is it a moment like that that you kind of feel it again? Like this is worth the grind. This is worth the details. You just seemed utterly, it wasn't even like just utter joy at what was being, shown to you. Can you just go what your emotions were just in those moments you're seeing McCaffrey do that stuff?
I think it was more joy. I mean, obviously you want to, when you invest that much into a player, you want to see it pay off. And so to have the immediate returns that we did, I thought he played really well against Kansas City in limited scope. But to come see it all come to fruition was tremendous. But I was really more happy for our team. I think it was the first time all year we put all three phases together. I think there's also some context there. I mean, we'd been in that stadium before with a 10-point lead. And I looked up at one point and we had a 10-point lead. And that was really frustrating to us because we felt like we had a team that was built to close and we didn't close. And so, albeit in a regular season game, but very important for us going into the bye, for us to go close and close out a team that felt really good. And I think it's just, you always tell people, be careful what you do, because when you put that standard out there, everyone knows what you're capable of. But I think that was important for us to find that as a team, how good we can be. And we did that without a lot of our best players. And the fact that we're likely to get a lot of those really good players back after the bye, I think has me and our team feeling good. Now it's about going and doing it on a consistent basis. So that's what all those high fives were all about. And, you can't play. You gotta have some joy. And it's always so fun in that environment because our fans just travel so well everywhere, but down there you really feel it. So the environment is just a fun one.
When you guys are first talking about trading for McCaffrey, as I think you both said, it was like right after you played him in Carolina. Was it like we need a great player? Like at some point we do need somebody, or was it McCaffrey? If we're going to make a move, it has to be that guy.
We really zeroed in on him. We liked our team as it was put together. So it had to be a difference maker. And I always love the conversations when you go down and mention something to Kyle. He's like, no, there's no way we're getting that dude. Like, there's no way. You're dreaming, And I said, well, it's all right to dream. Let me go work on it and see what we got. And, we kept kind of playing the thing through. It was tough because we were on it early in hopes to close it out before everyone got involved. That wasn't going to happen. They were either going to keep Christian because he was of great value to Carolina, or they were going to trade him. They had a high standard. They had a high mark set for what it was going to take to move him. And then when you get multiple teams in, it became steep. But we really felt that Christian's impact, he's such a versatile player. He can do so much in the run game, in the pass game. We felt like he would lift the boats. He'd make Jimmy a better player. He'd make our team a better team. And I think when you add him with Debo, their skill sets, although they play different positions, they really mirror each other quite well. And I think just to add those guys with the emergence of Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle, you really present a pick your poison type dilemma for defenses. And that was intriguing to us. And so, yeah, it cost a lot in terms of compensation, but at the end, we felt like it was well worth it. And, we just got to keep going with it. And we've seen what it can be. Now we got to go make that. It's not going to be him like that. He's not going to throw a touchdown, run for a touchdown, and catch one in every game. But just his presence, I think, will affect the game in a big way each and every week.
It's funny you said that when I asked Kyle, like, were you the guy pushing this? He goes, oh, hell no. I was saying, here's what's wrong with it. Here's how, well, we can't do it, which I get about Kyle. But also, once it becomes a possibility, once you're telling them we're in this, we're we might have the best offer. Is that when Kyle's like, we got to do this? We like the coaches, right? Coaches like, let's get the guy. Let's just get the guy. Is that how it kind of worked out?
Yeah. I've always been impressed though with Kyle's discipline, because I know that's the case with coaches. It's our job is to have, more pragmatic view. And hey, we got to think 3 years out. Coaches want it now. Well, I want it now too. And Kyle's sometimes the governor on me. And I think we have done a good job over the years, kind of balancing each other out. At times it's me wanting to push the limits and him saying, come on, man, we gotta hold tight here. We've got a good team. And at other times it's him. Now when he does hit that and decides he wants to go for something, there's no stopping. And so then it's my job to pull him back. But I think that works well. And we've got a good team around us. And I'm just glad we have him. Speaking of Christian, and I'm really excited for our team. He really fits us too. You could see even in the celebrations after touchdowns, there's one that's really hilarious. Kyle showed to the team meeting after George scored his touchdown. Christian's doing this, waiting for the hug, and George didn't come, and Christian stayed there for about 60 seconds until George finally came and saw him. And that's just representative that he just fits in our locker room really well.
I'm not going to ask you for all the details. I'm sure you won't tell me about negotiations, but what was the second rounder, like the line you had to cross? Was there a line that actually did the trade?
Well, I think it was, we were kind of at a second and a third, and we were willing to do something in the next year, which turned out to be the fifth round. But then the Rams, I didn't know who it was, but another team came in. They had I believe they had a 2 and 3 in 23, a 4 and 5 in 24, and a player. We didn't know who the player was. It turned out, I think it was Cam Akers. Yeah. And so, Fitterer, who did a really good job throughout the process, came back and said, look, the way you can make this happen is you guys have a fourth this year. The other team doesn't. You give that fourth this year. And that was a lot for us. But ultimately we said, for how we believe he can be the difference for us. And we believe this team has a chance for the whole thing this year. Let's go do it. And I keep saying it, but I'm happy we did.
Imagine playing against him on Sunday. That probably wouldn't have been